Garry Winogrand was a New York City street photographer best known for his chaotic images that captured and portrayed current life, various social issues, and change during the mid-20th century. He worked as a photojournalist and later taught photography in New York, Chicago, and Texas. He published 4 books in his career: The Animals, Women Are Beautiful, Public Relations, and Stock Photographs, the Fort Worth Fat Stock Show and Rodeo. He collaborated on an exhibition titled New Documents with Diane Arbus and Lee Friedlander that was featured at the Museum of Modern Art in New York. Additionally, he had 3 solo exhibitions at the same museum and many images featured in photography magazines over his career. Winogrand's first published project, The Animals, was published in 1969 and consisted of 43 black and white, wide-angle images, which are consistent with his style and much of his work. These images were taken over a 7-year period from 1962 to 1969 in the Central Park Zoo, Bronx Zoo, and the New York Aquarium. This untitled image of an elephant lying down and being watched by spectators was taken in 1969 and complements his next publication, titled Women Are Beautiful, with the same themes and commentary. In Women Are Beautiful, Winogrand's subjects shift from animals to humans, but many of his photographs convey the same message. This work, also entitled and photographed in 1969, shows 2 women walking with spectators on their left. The elephant and the 2 women are represented figuratively and literally in the same position. Side by side, the pictures taken of animals in zoos become the perfect metaphor for the outsiders and minority groups of New York City that Winogrand so frequently photographs. The social and moral tones of Garry Winogrand's work make many of his photographs and collections ethically evaluative. The photos in Women Are Beautiful fall into this category because of the social context and change of the photos. This particular photo is titled World's Fair, New York, 1964, and it was featured in both Women Are Beautiful and the collaborative New Documents project. Winogrand set out into the New York City streets to capture photos of women that depicted women's beauty, but also non-traditional beauty in the form of exercising freedom, confidence, and happiness. The depiction of these carefree and happy women in the photo shown prompts a positive opinion or attitude towards the social change that it describes. And although this collection has faced criticism for being sexist or misogynistic, it is an impactful collection that documents second-wave feminism and the sexual revolution in the 1960s and 70s. This underwater view of a woman swimming with a pig, taken in Ocarina Springs, San Marcos, Texas, in 1964, revisits the animal and human relationship and how they interact. Because of the various thoughts and feelings to be derived from the photo, it can be categorized as interpretive. Being featured in New Documents, it contributed to the statement that this collection made in using the camera not only to record, but to analyze human interaction with the rest of the world. This is a photo from a peace demonstration in Central Park, New York in 1970, included in Winogrand's 3rd book, Public Relations. This 3rd publication focused on documentation of other social change and the moments that existed to be documented. As a whole, Public Relations reflected Winogrand's philosophy of photography. The event being photographed does not matter, its image does. Similar to how New Documents was meant to force deeper thought about the world, Public Relations was an installment emerging from modernism and postmodernism, meant to emphasize that a photo is not its subject, instead it is its meaning. It is categorized as ethically evaluative because it implies a positive judgment on the motivation for the protest because of the peaceful atmosphere of the photo. This final photo is from Stock Photographs, the Fort Worth Fat Stock Show and Rodeo. It was Winogrand's last publication before his death in 1984. It features the Grand Champion Bull of 1977 handled by its owner. The photo is interpretive because it holds many judgments about the artist's intention and meaning for the photograph. Garry Winogrand's legacy is transforming the scope of street photography, contributing to the development of modernist and postmodernist movements, and documenting social issues and change. His photos, largely interpretive and ethically evaluative pieces, were immersed in reality and creating meaning, making artistic pieces of life rather than describing it. His work emphasized and expanded the meaning of photographs and refined the type of photography that requires deep reflection and interpretation.